Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rec Show, where the title is random and so are the topics. So, for the audio listeners out there, today's podcast is called the Roos Dogs Eats Ding Boys Cats Dinner Show, because we just agreed that the dots are count as D's, so that's why it's a very long title, but that's what we agreed on, so that's the way it's going to work. And this is episode 4. And yeah, we got two special guests here. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yes, sure. I am SAOKirito. I am Energetics Roos' brother-in-law, IRL. And I would be SAOKirito's twin brother in VR. So it does translate over to IRL as well. But you probably couldn't tell we look a lot alike. My name is StufMuff, as you can see.
Yeah, we have the same color watch.
All right. So before the podcast, we were talking about suppers and dinners and lunches and what you called them. Now, we have multiple meals in our family. We have breakfast. We have brunch. We have lunch. We have lupper. And we have supper. And we have, like, evening snacks.
Are you a hobbit?
So does midnight snack come before breakfast or after dinner?
After.
Ooh.
After supper. It's after supper. That's what the midnight snacks come in, or the evening snacks. And then midnight snacks we don't normally do, because it's like, why would you get up in the middle of the night just to have a snack? Then you're awake.
You don't have
Food
food right
you
next to
put
your
the
bed.
fridge next to your bed.
Yeah, I don't get up. You just roll over.
Wait, so do you just keep the fridge in your bedroom or something? And it's like you can just.
Well, you have two fridges, right? Like, where are you going to put the second one?
You don't know. You do not want to know how many fridges we have.
And not one of them's by your bed yet.
No,
That's
we
just something
have
for space
one
management.
upstairs. We have 2 in the basement in the laundry room. We have 2 outside at the back door. We have another one in the front, outside the front door. And I think that's all we have. Actually, no. Then we have another one in the garage. So we have like what, 7?
How many deep freeze?
1 deep freeze and 1 standing freezer, and then another standing freezer in the garage, and another standing freezer outside the back door. You do not want to know what our electrical bill is.
Well, that's when you get
Trick
that's when you
question, they
spend
have
your
solar
money
panels.
So there you go. Yes,
No, we do not.
dude. I actually heard. Dad was just talking about a few days ago about someone who got solar panels, and it
That's
dropped dropped your electricity bill. What was it, $14? Or
So I pay, kind of depends. On average, I pay only the service fee, which is $25, when my electric bill is normally $300 a month. So it dropped my bill $250.
Okay,
Nice.
but how much did it cost to get them installed? Like, when are you gonna break
Oh,
even?
man, we're not even-
That's the T.
You had a huge tax break, so I didn't
In
actually
Texas.
pay anything for it to be installed, but they took the tax break. But I'm still leasing them out, so you still pay about the same. Basically, my electric bill, if I can do that, is the same, but now I'm clean. As clean as I could be anyways.
Because he doesn't have water, so he can't shower. So
Yeah, we spent too much money on the solar panels.
So this is an opportunity where you can actually, because Dean Boy has been wanting to hear the story about you guys getting into VR, because of you guys, it branched off to my family. So what's the origin story for you guys?
This guy right
Wow.
here.
yeah, well, I know you already gave my origin story, Ruth, on one of these podcasts.
Only to the best of my ability, but you're it. You
Now
know
it's
better
straight from
than
the
anyone.
horse's mouth, man.
Oh, you nailed it. I listened to it. It was spot on. You nailed it. Basically, we
So
picked it up in college. I followed it forever. I knew. I tried out the Oculus original dev kit. It was garbage. Not recommended. And then I tried their CV1, fell in love with it. So my wife got me one after working hard for it, and we loved it ever since. I take it everywhere, let everybody try it, and eventually I got this guy hooked onto it.
Yep. I don't remember
He
what
is quite
game
hooked, or
you
he's
had me
wired to
playing,
it now.
but one of these games he got me on. My wife, the only game she likes to play is the tutorial with the little robot that's not Wally that we call Wally.
The lab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
the lab
First
tutorial.
Contact is.
Yeah. First Contact.
Yeah,
Oh,
first
First
that-
contact.
Contact.
Yeah, it's before
But
the
like
original.
the original. Now First
Yeah.
Contact is like you got like a dancing thing
world.
going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called. It's now called First
For
Steps.
first steps,
Yeah.
and then but yeah, I
Yeah.
did play that First Contact game. The thing is it's so short, so I don't know how you can like spend so long in
No,
that.
she would spend hours on it.
Ow.
Hours.
It's like a 10-minute at the most experience. Like,
Well,
before
you know,
you
you
can
got the
play with
little rockets.
everything.
You got to play with the rockets for 10 minutes alone, you know?
Alone. Each rocket. And then you try to shoot them out the sunroof. You got to get them going and try to get it go out the sunroof. And that takes skill, all right? That takes skill.
It does.
And then you have the bouncy balls you can throw at the robot. And, there's all kinds of good stuff. Fake drinking. You got to drink that pop.
it's like obviously like the first VR experience I ever had was playing First Steps on the Quest, like the original Quest when I first got it. That's like was my very first like official VR experience. And I hit so much stuff in my room because it's like the first time I tried, obviously it's like you don't know your own space and everything. So you're constantly smacking stuff, you're constantly smacking walls and stuff, and I'm surprised it didn't break any of my controllers the first day, but now it's like even with my small play space, I can easily play Beat Saber easily, play Battle Royale, Rec Royale and stuff, and it's not a problem. So it's just funny how it's like after so many years you just remember your play space and like where stuff is and everything.
See, we had the
That's where
opposite issue. When we
Oculus hit
put
you,
somebody
watch
new
out.
in, when we put somebody new in, they never move. They play in like a space like this. And this hand is non-existent. They're doing everything.
That's
I'm like,
true.
hey, your left hand still works. Oh, okay.
They're just so used to using just the mouse, so they're just like moving the
Yeah,
hand.
just the
Yeah.
mouse. And then they ask, how do I turn around? You tell them, well, turn around and figure it
just
out.
turn around. Just turn around.
Turn around.
It's like, where's the mouse button to turn around? Where's the button to turn? No, you can just turn
It's not a
around.
180 experience. It's a 360 experience.
Well, the original CV1 was only 180. The 2 sensor
Oh
setup.
yeah, with the 2 base
Oh.
stations. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because they didn't have touch controllers, so they had no way to interact with the world. So they just started with an Xbox controller, and then they integrated the touch controllers later.
With,
I remember when you
with
had an
those base
Xbox
stations.
controller. And I remember you saying that's useless now when you got your controllers.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
you never
definitely not
used them.
useless. Chronos is still the best game I've ever played.
Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, it's good. I don't know if I've ever beat it, but I like it.
I heard it's actually harder when you play it in non-VR.
Really? Why is that?
I don't know. They're just the final boss is a lot harder to beat in non-VR. Per a friend. A friend beat it in VR and could not beat it in non-VR.
Well, maybe
I haven't
because
given it a
you
shot.
can like naturally move and react to things, where on a flat screen, you have to figure out the controls to.
But that's the thing.
Have
It's not a
the
game
reaction.
like that. The VR experience, you're like a satellite camera. Like you can look around. You still have an Xbox controller. You know, you're doing your little thing over here. And so basically the only difference is, I guess, you're not wearing a headset.
Do you know Happy Tails? When I had you guys play Happy Tails, that game with like the little thing that looks like Tails from Sonic, and they run around.
My younger siblings played that, but not me.
Yeah, it's just like that. So you're like in third person view,
Oh, it's like one of
controlling
those.
them.
Yeah.
You're just
Kind of like
yeah.
Moss, right?
so. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, there you go. That's
I
a good
played
example.
that, yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, when you're talking about stuff with going back a little bit where it's like VR versus screen, I watched a video, it was like a long time ago, where Node, the YouTube channel Node, they actually did a video on Rec Room where they did a person, they were like playing laser tag and they were doing a person in VR and a person on screen who both never played the game before and see who was better. Obviously, the person in VR was better because it's just more natural. If you're holding like a laser pistol, you're obviously gripping it with your hand, you're obviously shooting with your trigger, you're obviously aiming down like this, and like, I mean, to run you're using a joystick, but you're kind of familiar with that. But on like screen, you have to like, I don't know, like figure out how to like swap weapons and stuff instead of just going down and like picking up the weapon off of your holster. You have to like figure out the button to holster weapons and stuff. So, and also there was another person who did a video. It was a small YouTuber, but they also did where they had their mom and dad play, who weren't gamers at all, play Super Hot, like the screen mode version of the game versus the VR one, and kind of like figured out who played it better. And obviously the person in VR played it better. It's just more natural. So it's, I mean, like VR experiences, it's a lot easier. I think if you're trying to introduce someone into the world of video games, probably the best thing to do is to plug them right into like VR. I know a lot of people say like, well, VR is like really advanced and that'd be really a really big shock for them, but I think in reality it'd probably be the easiest thing, because instead of them getting really frustrated with like which mouse button to push, like how to aim with like the mouse if they've never played video games before, it's like it's a lot more natural to just like pick up something with your hands or like drop something by letting go of it. That's just how I see it.
But here's my question. So it's more intuitive for non-gamers, but how about you put up a professional FPS Pavlov VR player against a professional screen Pavlov player? That's what I want to see.
That would be, I mean,
Yeah, that's what I would be interested in.
that's
Like
actually
if you,
true.
so like, you know, VR, you have your head that can now add as another axis. So like I was thinking, like even if you play some of the FPS computer games, if you put them into a headset where they can still use their keyboard and mouse, if you could improve their performance
I think
just by adding another axis where they can control with their head.
I think that would also work, and also maybe it have something to do with like having actual 3D environments. Maybe would help in some way too, of like judging distances, or like how like if like the game has like bullet drop off to like, okay, that person's this far away, I need to aim this high or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Or start getting the Coriolis effect as you start shooting around the world.
Yeah, can I do a bullet spin? It worked in The Matrix.
Well, I
I don't
mean,
think that was the Matrix. It was a different show.
Was it
Where
a
they
different
spun
show?
the
Well,
bullet. Where
wasn't
they
it
spun the bullet?
it was Wanted, wasn't it?
I think so, yes.
Where they did the shoot around the target thing. Anyway, so another thing I wanted to talk about was you play Echo VR, like professionally.
100%.
yes, sir.
So I don't know, for the people who are,
Semi-professionally.
well, I mean, you're part of like VRML, so it's like that's that's pretty much as professional as you can get,
So,
right?
if you haven't heard, NEPA is the new Pro series. So I have gotten into the basically the scouts, or the what do they call it? The draft system for the professionals, but I have not actually ever made it onto a professional team yet. So you got VRML, and then you actually got professional paid players. in NEPA.
Whoa. Bring this hand down a bit. You have VRML and you have NEPA. So VRML is the competitive league where you have all the people that are really good at the game that play against each other. And then NEPA is opening up a side league where their goal is to actually advertise this game to the public. So here they're actually going to plan on paying people to play. Over here, it's just you're good. And then the top people make money because they're really good. We don't make money. We're not really good.
So is that so that's where they're actually gonna try to actually promote that, and I guess like professional sense, and not just like where
Correct.
VRML kind of only promotes it in like the VR community, where you only hear
Yes.
VRML if you're part of the VR community. They want to get this NAPA, if that's how the way you pronounce it, to other people and not just
Yep.
in the VR. Okay, that's kind of cool. So hopefully this will get
Correct.
it. So is it just Echo, or is there like other games like Pavlov and Onward that are in this as well?
So VRML does Pavlov.
Yeah.
There's a couple games VRML does.
That
NEPA
sprint
is
vector
currently
still in there?
only. I do not know. I have not seen it in a while.
I know that the one thing
But as far as I know,
watch is
NEPA is only
Onward.
Echo.
Okay.
Correct. Onward. That's the other one. Pavlov, Onward, and then there's like some weird like battle area one. That might be Onward though. I'm not entirely sure.
forget there's a few, but yeah. So
Yeah, right now NEPA's only Echo, but if they get success, they might branch out to some other VR games.
yeah, yeah,
But
for
their
sure.
goal is to make it like an actual real sport. So like football, where you watch the game on TV and you have like
Oh, like
advertisement.
actual
That's their
TV. Oh,
goal.
okay, like
Esports. That'd be
Yeah, like
esports.
I mean, they
that's their goal there.
they want to get like as popular as like the league sports that have like League of Legends or Rocket League kind of. Okay.
Yep. They're actually already streaming. You got NEPA Pro TV. You can watch the professionals and the AAA teams play against each other. It's a 4-quarter system instead of VRML, which is VRML is more like volleyball. You
Yeah.
played a set number of sets, where the NEPA is more of like an actual basketball game. You play 4 quarters, running clock, stats keep going up.
Okay.
Wow.
So with this NEPA, is it are they gonna pay enough where people can actually make this like a career, kind of like with like football or something, where it's
So
like
that
you
is
can
a
make whole
great question.
career out of it?
Currently, I do not have any of that information, nor would I be able to disclose it if I did have it. They are sponsored players, so they are under contract. But for the most part, I would not think it's super profitable yet. But as it grows,
Well, yeah,
the
obviously
more it
grows
supply,
and
the more advertisements
sponsors.
you have, the
Yeah.
more that you'd have to do.
On the other side of disc throwing, disc golf has becoming quite big, where people are actually being sponsored enough that it's become their full-time job.
Yep.
Remember,
Yes.
it's been growing for the past how many years? Would you say it exploded?
Well, so it originally started, I think, in the 80s. And then I think in pre-COVID or just a couple years before COVID, it is launched. Like you got exponential increase in disc golf players and courts all across the country.
Yeah.
I think there's a few
Yeah,
courts
COVID
around
was a
my
big
area.
pusher because of nobody could go outside, or you could just go outside and throw some discs. So everybody's like, "Yeah, we can go to a park. I see these baskets." So they pick up some disc, and it grew popularity.
I don't think I've ever played an actual game of disc golf. Like actually,
Have you thrown a disc
I've thrown a disc and like we've played like games.
into a basket?
No, that's not like I never played disc golf. That's pretty much what it is. But yeah, I've never played that.
Have you played disc golf in Rec Room?
Well, yeah, but that's not the real thing.
Same thing.
It's
Same
basically
thing.
the
Throw
same
a
thing.
disc in a basket. Physics are a little off. They're a lot off, but you get the idea.
I'm with some people that I see that when they're just doing hole-in-ones, no problem with real life disc golf. I just don't know how they do that. It's just
Oh yeah,
impressive.
they're good.
lots of when you see them do that on YouTube and they go, "Yeah, first shot." Most likely that wasn't the first shot.
Unless it's Simon Lassat,
Yeah.
he really gets it on his first shot.
I need to maybe see
Actually,
this
fun
Yeah.
fact:
place I can go.
Brody Smith came over to the disc golf course we played in Dallas.
Which one?
So Brody Smith is a professional disc golfer. He came and played my home course in Dallas called Shawnee Park.
Really?
Cool.
Yep.
How'd he do?
So they did like a mulligan service. Like they went to see how many reshots they would need to do to birdie every single hole.
Mhm.
So I mean, I think he did it in like 15, 14, or 18 or something like that mulligans, but it was still just incredible. You're talking about one hole, it's a par 3, 450 foot. He got it in the first shot, just launched it out there. Oh yeah, that was an easy birdie. I'm like, yeah, me
Oh
too.
my
That's
goodness.
exactly what I
Wow.
thought.
I'm gonna have to go find that one.
Yep. Just posted like last week.
Oh, I definitely haven't watched it then.
I've been hearing a lot of disc golf. It's kind of weird because I like all the podcasts I listen to. A lot of them talk about like them like playing disc golf on the weekends and stuff. So apparently it's getting popular. I never knew.
Do you have any
Yeah,
in Canada?
everybody likes golf.
Yeah,
and it's free,
like I said, there's
so
one
why
around
not?
my
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
around. I think it's like a 10-minute drive or 15-minute drive. I think there's one. I've never went though. Maybe I should.
So our park is quite close, and I discovered a new sense of time. It takes 3/4 of a large pickle's walk to the park.
3/4 of a large pickle.
What?
Yeah.
3/4.
You're walking and eating in a steady pace. You're eating the pickle. Have you ever had a large pickle that's taller than your fist?
Yeah,
No.
all the time. I just eat pickles on a daily basis.
They really do. And you know, I learned that this is how their family teaches all their kids to like pickles. When they're really young, the mommy will sit there holding them, and then the brother or the sister will come shove a pickle in their mouth, and the baby will like get this ugly look on their face, and they'll be like, "Oh look, they love it," and then that's how all their kids love pickles. I witnessed it. I witnessed it for the 2 youngest. I saw it. I was there, and I was like, "All right, this is what I have to do to get these kids to like food. I'll just start like putting barbecue sauce on their hands and feet when they're young."
So you're force feeding
I
children a
Not-
food
not-
that
not
you
me, not
want
me.
them
That
to
me.
eat.
no,
It's
we've
called
not
suggestion.
force
Just
feed.
the power of suggestion.
They
Like,
want
when you
to
put it in
suck
their
on something,
mouth.
so you give them a pickle.
Yeah, it's like a pacifier, but with juice.
Yeah.
I
And then you
always-
tell them
I
it's
think-
good, and they don't know any better.
I think I remember actually it was you and my sisters, like it was probably like the first Christmas you had with us when you two were got together. We gave her the Sam's Club large thing of pickles, and we gave you also the large case of barbecue sauce.
Yes.
And we're like, welcome
Yes.
to the family. Here's barbecue sauce.
Yes. Barbecue sauce. Well,
But did you put the pickles in the barbecue sauce?
No, I don't eat pickles raw like they do. They just like literally take it out and just chew on it like an apple.
Come to Dallas. It gets more popular because like you start talking about having spicy foods. Can you not hold my hand? You got spicy foods going on, right? And they just give you a pickle.
What?
It's not bad. You just eat the pickle. Yeah, you got a spicy taco and a pickle. Spicy chicken wings and a pickle.
Is it a dill pickle? Because
Yes,
they
it
only like
has to be
dill
dill.
pickles.
Only
No
dills.
other kind.
I didn't ask what its name. I think the last one was Charlie.
Oh, I see. See, that's unacceptable. Has to be dill.
My
That
brain
is
is
true.
like, you're giving for gifts. You give people pickles and barbecue sauce.
Oh yeah, the necessity.
You had me stuck
it's
on
a
that.
big deal for barbecue sauce. Apparently, it's not a common thing for families to have barbecue sauce as a condiment. Like, for example,
What?
at a family camp, they didn't, forever, they did not have barbecue sauce as a condiment. Then literally
like a
just
staple.
2 years ago, just 2 years ago, they added it. And then our family was like in the middle of the huge line. And as we got through and we got our barbecue sauce, the lady behind the counter said, "Oh, you're the first family to pick barbecue sauce." We're like, seriously? No one else here likes barbecue sauce? Are you kidding me? We pick barbecue sauce over ketchup.
When I
Any
went to
day.
Philadelphia for my senior design project in college, I ordered something. It was some like hamburger or whatever, and they brought out, and I asked, so like, "Hey, could I get barbecue sauce?" And they're like, "Barbecue sauce?" Like, yeah, barbecue sauce. It's the brown stuff you put on barbecue.
Yeah.
And they're like, I guess we have some in the kitchen, but like that's a weird condiment. It's like weird condiment. It's
What?
delicious. Pull it on out.
It's sad that you have to request for it. It's sad.
Yes.
Are you weird?
It-
No offense,
No,
but
you're weird.
but
Yes,
You're
everywhere,
just oddball here.
everywhere in Canada, there's barbecue sauce. Everywhere. There's no
Really?
And
here's
as
the
it
condiment.
should be.
There's a condiment stand. There's
For
barbecue
French fries?
sauce. Guaranteed.
Ice cream.
There-
Yes. French fries and ice cream.
100%.
You get a milkshake, dip your French fries in it.
well,
Oh,
we don't
that's
have that. We
delicious.
have the Wendy's Frosties, and we do that. The Wendy's Frosties.
That still
and
works.
That's also
French fry.
Yes.
It's like, do you need some of our barbecue sauce? Because we got a lot in Canada up here. If you're liking any barbecue sauce, we got some.
Sam's Club helps us. Sam's Club helps.
We have plenty because I guess nobody else eats it, so we have plenty for ourselves.
Yeah, they definitely sell it.
get-
They just don't know where to put it, I guess.
Just go to Costco and get like the big jugs, and keep
Well,
them.
we don't go to Costco. We go to Sam's Club. That's where we go.
Okay.
I've noticed your family's starting to go there more often now.
Yeah, when their gas is 20 cents cheaper, you bet.
Same with Costco.
Right there.
Costco's
True
cheap as
story.
gas, so it's worth it to get the membership.
I remember pulling up to the gas station just the other day. I think it cost about like 50 or was it 50 or $70 to fill up my tank. But like sometimes you can see the previous person how
Oh,
much
yeah.
they paid. It was $200.
That's for like large.
Oh yeah, they filled up the
for like a
Like-
truck. Yeah.
Like that's got to be a big vehicle right there that was before me.
I was borrowing my dad's truck one time, and he's like, "Hey, if you don't want to drop $150, like you should go more often." I was like, "I'm putting $150 in there, whether I do it in 2 trips or one, so might as well go once and drop $150."
I think I'm spending about $80 whenever I fill up.
See, my buddy just got a Model Y Tesla. That's actually why I was late. Is I was joyriding with him.
A Tesla? Man.
I think he said it
Does it
cost
drive
him
itself?
$16 to charge it up. It does. He hasn't tried that feature yet. Not enough faith in it, but
Bro, I
It does
want to
have
try it. I want to try. So, like, how does that work logistically? So, like, can he set it off and just have him drive to work? Is that like legal
technically
for the
speaking,
road?
yes. But there's a safety where you have to put
You have
your
to hold
hands
on to
the
the
steering wheel
every
like,
now and
every
then.
5
That's
minutes.
Yeah.
bogus. How am I going to take a nap if I'm holding on to the steering
You just
wheel?
tape your hands on the steering wheel. Not approved. We would not condone those actions.
That's what I thought. So they have these self-driving vehicles, but they have all these disclaimers that like you have to watch the road, you have to hold the steering wheel.
So then
all
what's the
this
point of
crap.
having a
You're
self-driving
not
vehicle?
Think about this.
Thank you.
In Dallas, we have a road called 635. If you ever come through Dallas, you'll know it. There's always construction on the east side, and sometimes the lines don't even exist anymore. The Tesla uses the lines to stay in the line.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
have an auto-driving Tesla literally just
Oh.
going through that 80 miles an hour, not swerving with the lanes,
Oh, no.
just straight on through. And it's one of the busiest highways, so it's like, what? How does it even stand a chance?
True.
Just plain concrete.
Yeah, that
You'd be
probably-
surprised. Those self-driving cars got quite smart, so they don't just look at the lines. But I'd be
But
interested to see
they're
what you do if you put it on
also-
pavement with no lines.
They're also going based off of the car in front of them and behind them too as well, and they're driving based off of them. So you just gotta hope that the person in front of you is a good driver, because they're literally driving you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the story in a storm, right? When you can't see, you're just like, I'm following these headlights all whoop in a
Yes.
forest.
We had
They
3
all
cars
twist
in the
the turn.
ditch today. The first one was a real guy. He accidentally went in the ditch, and the 2 self-driving vehicles behind him followed.
I remember, like, I don't know, was it last year or 2 years ago? Used to watching the VR news channels and about like the VR headsets that you can wear while you're driving. I'm like, that's
Interesting.
one of the dumbest things.
That
Yeah,
But
is
ever.
think about it. You
It's-
would need no windows. You could be like a windowless cockpit. You're like, yeah, I can see everything.
I think before
I
that
do that already
happens,
on my
they're
motorcycle.
gonna get holograms that
I
go on
know.
the windshield before you, because that'd be just so cumbersome
So-
to put on the
so they
headset every
tried
single
that.
time.
That they tried that in I think it was 2012 or 13 models. They'd have these holograms that showed up on your windshield. Never took off because, like, with the sun beating
Interesting.
down on it, it was really hard to see things like your speedometer or the navigation. But I've seen them
Yeah.
starting to come back with more of a thing you put on your dash to help like push it up. Again, it's just
and
hard
I'm pretty
to see
sure
with it so bright
with
out.
technology, if that was what 2000, you said 2013.
Yeah, 2013.
So that's almost 10 years. I'm pretty sure that holographic technology has progressed in 10 years. That they could adjust to the light and
maybe
yeah, they can
we'll
almost
have-
make
we'll
you
have to
look
see.
pretty.
Hey, watch it. Though.
like all you need is
They
like
can't do
that,
that
like
yet.
that tilt, that tinting stuff that like glasses do, where it tints in like the bright light. That it just does that automatically with the part where it's the hologram. So in bright light, it
Mhm.
becomes darker, so you can see it better. But at nighttime, it becomes completely clear. So that's pretty much all you need to do.
Yeah, we'll see
Yeah,
how
go pitch
safety
that
feels
to
about
GMC. Yeah, go pitch that to GMC. See what they say.
I'm pretty sure they've already thought of that. But hey, if they
that.
imagine them just like listen to this podcast, oh, that's a good idea. Just
That's a good idea.
yoink-
Let's not give
yoink
Dean
that.
Boy any
Oh,
credit,
yeah.
and let's just go take that idea. So if you see it coming out in about 6 months to a year, you know it was you. You
Exactly,
know it was
yep.
you. Keep your ears out.
And now we got digital proof.
That's true.
They got to prove documentation that they had the design before today's date.
Now, what headset do you play on, Ding Boy?
Quest 2. Oh yeah, I guess we could talk about this. Yeah, Quest 2 with Link. That's what I'm currently using. I really I've been holding off getting an index because before I went to get an index, I went to upgrade my GPU. But now I'm hearing rumors that a new GPU is getting announced this month, so I'm now holding off for that. So it's like because I'm still running a 1070. That's kind of how back I am on a GPU because I built a new computer in December of last year, and I like completely overspent on everything because why not? I got like the 12900K Intel. I got 32 gigabytes RAM. I got the 1300 watt power supply, so I can pretty much use any GPU I get in the future. The only thing now is like I'm totally bottlenecked by my GPU, and I just checked this week. The RTX 3080 Ti's are finally below MSRP, and I'm like, I want to so bad. I want to grab it so bad, but it's like I hear a lot of people saying, and all like the tech YouTubers and like articles, they're all saying, just hold off for this month because with all the leaks that are happening right now, people are saying that NVIDIA is announcing the 40 series this month. So I'm probably gonna hold off for one more month. But if nothing shows up, then I'm just gonna grab the 3080 Ti because it's been like Rec Room runs fine and everything, but pretty much anything other than that and Beat Saber, I'm running at like 70 FPS max, so it does struggle a little bit.
What frame per second are you looking to get?
Well, something
At least 90, bro.
Well, 90 or like the
144.
Whenever I get an index, ideally I can run it at full refresh rate, hopefully.
Does the Quest 2 have 120 hertz yet?
Yeah.
Or is that still beta?
No, it's officially released, and I do use it now and then for Beat Saber, but it's just so hard because you need to go into the settings and then you need to click enable the new refresh rate. Then you need to reset the entire program all over again. So it is a little bit hard trying to reset, but I do use it now and then for Beat Saber, and it helps a lot. But
Yeah, I'd say the index goes all the way up to 144, but it was experimental when Ruth got hers, so I don't know if it's experimental anymore or not. She probably doesn't know.
That's not creepy at all. Dropping host specs. He's a big fan. Big fan.
I'm a big fan
He's
of
the
her
one
YouTube
that-
channel,
he's the
guys. If
one
you
that
haven't checked
gave
it
it to
out,
me.
check it out.
He's
Sure.
the one that did all the research and got me all this stuff.
Yep, it's cool. The index is great, but I gotta say my eyes have been on the Arrow, the Vario Arrow.
oh, that thing is
It's
expensive,
good
though,
stuff.
isn't it?
Oh yes, oh it is. It's as much as the index with all of its lighthouses, and you don't get controllers, lighthouses, or anything.
Yeah.
But it is supposed to be off the charts amazing.
So is it Steam VR
When you get
like
one, let me
tracking
know.
compatible? So could you just use the headset and then
Yeah,
just
so-
use Steam VR controllers and base stations?
Correct. Yeah, they use the Steam VR controller, so you can use the wands, you can use the index controllers, anything that works with the Steam lighthouses, and then they use the lighthouses from Steam.
All right.
They just don't mess with any of that other stuff. Their whole goal is to get you the best visual
Yeah.
possible. So then they doesn't even come with the built-in microphone. You have to have an external microphone.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's kind of.
So is
crazy.
this for commercial or consumer?
So it was originally for commercial, and that's how I actually got I found it was for my work. But back then it came with like a $500 to $1,000 license every year, and my work wasn't really
Oh
interested
my.
in paying that for our demos.
Yeah.
So we weren't that interested, but because a bunch of YouTubers got their hands on it and they like made a petition and all this other stuff, they convinced them to basically, just dumb down the specs a bit and release one to the community just to see what happens. Because the commercial headset has like you have to have a commercial grade
Yeah,
graphics card
I-
just to run it
I
because
heard
it has
about
like two
all
screens
of
in
the
it.
stuff a bit.
Wow.
So they just took all that out and they just released it to the public, and now basically they're going to see how they do. And if it takes off really well, then maybe they'll go through and add like a cheap microphone and some headphones, some stuff to make it a little bit more user friendly for the community. And then your high end gamers can go add their own microphones and stuff.
I mean, that's what I'm like.
So the best
have,
visual, but a terrible mic. Now, a lot of people love the Index because of the mic.
Yep.
That's one of the selling
reasons
features.
why people get the Index.
Yep. It's supposed to be spectacular, off the charts.
I don't know. It's like I want to get the Index so bad, but I know I'm gonna get graphics card first so that I can actually run an Index properly. But the thing I'm wondering is now, is it even worth it to get an Index? Because I've been using my Quest 2. The Quest 2, I have like the Antline mic, the wireless mic, so I'm actually getting great sounding. Like I'm not currently using it right now for voice chat, but I'm using it for the recording, and it works really well. And then I'm also wondering if it's even worth it for me to get the Index, because I mean, the graphics, the resolution is better than the Index. I'm gonna get a new graphics card. I'm gonna get 120 hertz, which is like close to the Index. Tracking is fine for me, at least. So it's like, do I even get the Index at that point?
You think tracking's fine, but as far as I can tell, I could be wrong. Inside-out tracking is not comparable to outside-in tracking yet.
I could agree with that, but I've just never tried it. So I'm so used to this kind of tracking that I just don't feel like I need it anymore.
I mean, Oculus has come a long way with the predictive stuff and everything. So I mean, I haven't used Quest 2, but a lot of people like it. But once you go outside in, you don't go back.
Yeah, I love my outside in tracking.
Also, I mean, they are. I don't know why it took a company so long to figure that out, but Meta, with their new headset, they're just putting cameras directly onto the controllers, which is how they're doing how they're doing like the outside in tracking, where you can like there's no occlusion, which is like, why did it take so long for a company to think about that? Because it just seems like an obvious thing. You're doing that kind of tracking on the headset, just do the exact same thing on the controllers, because then you can put it behind your back and everything, and it's like doing the proper tracking and everything, and it won't like cut out and everything. But that's actually smart, because then that'll completely, and I'm pretty sure that the Index, I know a lot of people would probably be angry about that, but the Index, or the new deck card, or whatever they're calling it, I wouldn't be too surprised if they just did that too, because I just completely eliminate that bulky ring around the outside. So then all you do is just like little cameras on the controllers, and then it's fine for that tracking.
Yeah, a comment about that bulky ring though. So I have the original touch controllers where they have the ring around your knuckles. And I'm just saying, that ring has saved me from bloodying my knuckles more times than I can count.
See, with the Quest controllers, they're on the top, so I have gotten plenty of bruised and bloody knuckles.
That's what I'm saying. It's more protection. I literally broke my light last week, shattered it, and didn't feel a thing because my controller protected me.
But
Yeah,
how's your
brass knuckles
controller?
at this point.
How's your controller though? Because you can't really replace it now.
True.
Because it's
My
discontinued.
controller is 9 years old, and I punched fridges, people, walls, and it's still kicking.
Has it gotten any?
Yeah, I
and
remember.
and
when
it
you
hasn't
punched
gotten
my
any drift
sister,
yet.
yeah.
No drift.
No, I haven't had
Mine,
any.
I
any
had one
stick
set.
drift.
I'm on my second set of CV1 controllers because I did have stick drift on one of my controllers.
Maybe you don't hit enough stuff. Try hitting a few walls. It just really brings it
Pick it out. And
I think
Though, correct me if I'm wrong, those headsets and devices, so the hardware was made to last. Where
true. With the Quest, they try to go as cheap as
last.
possible.
So when you were saying about like, is it worth changing from a Quest to an Index? The Quest 2 is not made to last. So
is the Index. I've been seeing a lot of people with broken Index and controllers and constantly getting replaced every 6 months.
Maven VR.
That's kind of like
Maven VR's fault. Maven VR plays paintball.
and Terra,
like,
and Chubbier Snail.
He goes
like
he
all
goes
these
crazy,
people.
and he's constantly banging around. So that's why it's broken. Here am I, and I've not had problems.
Terra
except
broke hers on the
needing
first
my base
week.
station's a break.
Okay.
That's. All right, something must have been wrong
And
with
Thrill
making
Seekers-
those controllers,
well, okay,
or
Thrill
she
Seeker,
does a terrible
look,
job.
I understand Thrill Seeker. He does like crazy stuff and everything too. But he's gone through like what 3 headsets already, and like how many controllers because of like just getting drift, broken buttons, and
I would not be
everything.
surprised if he
So-
spends 12 hours a day on his head.
So
Yeah,
there's a VR
exactly,
player
but-
in Echo. His name is White Fox. Shout out to White Fox if he sees this. He has went through 5 or 6 headsets,
Like,
like Oculus
My
CV1
goodness.
headsets.
wow.
Could it also be the
So-
climate? Because,
Maybe.
because if you think about it, here am I in the middle of the U.S. and Therapeutic is up in the corner in Canada. So there maybe climate has to also do some things, kind of like climate has to do sometimes that influence the overheating.
But it
of
broke
your
in the first
computer.
week. How can climate do that? I don't know. It's like I hear like and with like the people who bought the index, like Tara, I don't know if it was Tara or Slat in our group chat, and then someone said, "Yeah, that just remember the index is going to be one of the cheapest pieces of plastic you're ever going to own." I mean, like the most
Oh,
because
wow.
that's what they said
My
because it's like
goodness.
it just breaks. That's what they said. It's that just they're broken so many controllers. And I know I've thrown my controllers, I've dropped my controllers, my headset I've dropped many times, and it's still fine. So it's like I don't know. And like Thrill Seeker, he did a stress test on it where he put it into a washing machine or a dryer, and it's still fine. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I
pretty-
feel like
it's
it
pretty
also depends
durable.
on how
Stress
you
test.
maintain it.
It's pretty
So like
durable.
Ruth said, her index works pretty well. She takes care of it. I don't know what these other people do, but the biggest disadvantage for PC computers is our tail, if you will, our cable. I've gone through 2 cables just because I twist around so much that it gets the cable all kinked up. So that's a nice thing about a Quest, but at the same
I
time,
mean, I have a cable
just can't
too.
get away from
I'm
the
running
PC.
cable because I just can't stand the lag that you get from Airlink. So I'm always running
Yep.
cable as well. So, and granted, I have actually gone through
And
multiple
I'm on
cables as
CV1
well.
without a cable. So how does that feel?
Yeah, you little TP cast, you watch it, bro.
It's like a wireless thing you can do on
Yeah,
it.
Is
so
that
I
an
have
air
a-
thing?
Yeah, I have a wireless headset because I have a company. It's called TP Cast. I don't think they're even in business anymore. They done one for the what's the other one?
They have the CV1 and the Rift S.
No, what's the other company? The Steam
HTC
Vive. The
Vive.
Vive.
Vive, yeah.
Yeah, so they had Vibe and Oculus. So I managed to get it. It was not cheap, but wireless HDMI, wireless USBs, completely wireless.
So, but it's like a power pack
it's
that
pretty
you have
good.
too, right? Like.
Yeah,
So how long does
Yep.
it usually last then?
just like a Quest. Honestly, I could play for 5 to 6 hours straight
not
without
actually
any
that bad.
issues.
But now, is it replaceable?
Wow.
Like, is the batteries replaceable?
Yeah, it's just an Ankion battery. Like you see people carrying them around with like cell phones and everything. It's just one of the larger ones you can buy.
just like a USB, just like a USB power
Yeah.
bank. Oh,
It
okay.
it actually takes 2 USB ports, so you get any battery pack that has the same alignment. You can put it on there.
Oh, so it's just a battery. I thought it was like an internal battery, but if it's a power pack, that's really nice. You can just have like 2,
Yep.
so they can have on rotation. If you need to.
Exactly.
Oh, that's smart.
When it dies, I just put a new one in, charge it up.
But you usually
away
have to
we go.
restart the application because the mic and the headphones don't link back up. So you have to restart
Yeah,
it.
that's an issue that I've had. As we saw today, I've been running programs for NEPA all day today. So I booted up my headset, my mic didn't come up, so I had to reset my whole computer.
So I have a question.
13.
Would you consider VR playing better than screen playing? What makes it better on your guys' opinion?
VR's better. I just because VR ruined screen playing, like pancake gaming for me, for probably life at this point. I just can't. Anytime I buy a game on Steam that's like, oh, this is cool. I've always wanted this, and it goes on sale. I play it for 2 hours, and I'm just right back into VR because I just don't find it very entertaining. It's like I can't grab stuff. I can't move around in the environment. I can't like look around. It's like it's just ruined it for me. As a lot of people have said it too, where it's like they try VR for the first time and it just ruins pancake gaming for them. But that's when they get really excited whenever like games get ported to VR that are actually good ports. Some of the ports are really janky, but some of them, and also what
Yeah.
Like
Luke,
Among Us.
and also what Luke Ross is doing. He's doing impressive stuff with like reverse engineering games and stuff so that they work in VR. That's impressive stuff that he's doing, and he's like making a living off of it. But yeah, it's really cool that there's also communities that are making games VR compatible, so that also makes me want to play them. And also like the devs themselves are adding VR support to their games, which is, I think, a lot more companies should be doing that.
Yeah, my biggest thing for VR is it starts adding an actual physical aspect to the game. Like when you're playing a flat screen game, anybody can press the A key or press the S key or press the arrow keys. Like it just now it's all reaction time, which I mean, I understand that's still an important part. But once you get into VR, now you have an actual physical part. Like, I have to physically move my body. I have to physically throw this. Now they still govern a lot of it down. Like Echo Arena back in the day when I was a young lad, you could literally throw that disc as hard as you wanted to, and it would go as fast as you threw it. Well, then people started working the system, and people could like glitch the system to get the disc to go 40 meters a second, which was just absurd. It would just flash across the arena. So the dev team had to dumb that down. But like to me, that's the best part about Echo. Is like you can, or VR in general, it's a physical aspect. When you're playing, you're physically moving. And I mean, I might break a sweat when I play a flag game too, but I'm always sweating when I get out of VR.
Very true. I love the competitive aspect. In Dallas, if it's raining, like you can't really go outside. I guess you could, but you can't go out disc golfing. You could always go to the gym, but you have to find people to play with. It's just like you just jump in VR. There's always somebody to play with. You at least get some kind of a workout. You get hungry, just take your headset off for 10 minutes, go get something to eat, and come back at it again. I'm still a big fan. I do like the co-op VR. I have not really found any. Well, there are a few co-op VR games where you can play. Like my wife and I are sitting in the living room, we can play a game together. But there's not very many variations in VR for a co-op screenplay. So to me, that's where the flat screens are still the leading.
Uh-oh.
Crashed.
I think we lost him.
Oh no.
You're talking, bro.
They'll come
and
back.
We can't hear you. Yeah. For me, the biggest disadvantage of VR, though, is it's truly a one-person game. Like, if you have friends over or family over, you have to have more than one headset to play together, and that is a big disadvantage. I have people come over to play it all the time, and I'm like, hey, you guys are welcome to bring a group of 5, but only one of you can be in there at a time. So
there are
what
would you call it? Asymmetric VR games. Which are kind of cool.
Nobody explodes.
Are cool, and
That's
one of the games that I keep on getting brought up is Tingling's House Party, which apparently is getting popular again because it was released in like 2018 or something, never been updated, and then they're finally the developer said they're releasing new updates to it, so that's kind of cool. Where it's like a party game. One person is in the headset, and then the other people are on like their phones, and they have like the screen where if you have it on like the TV, and then you can kind of like play and going around the house, I don't know, like while the one guy's trying to catch them or something, like little guys. And then there's also one game that I've
yes, I've seen that game. Yeah.
And then there's also Panoptic, which I played with, which I actually just got during the Steam sale, and I played with my brother, and it's actually quite fun. But it's so fun. I need to actually maybe see if I can like do like a video, because I actually want to try to see if I can play with Ruth using like Parsec or something. But it'd be kind of cool if we could do that, because it's like where one person is this entity or whatever being that they're going around and trying to pick one person out of an entire crowd, like who the actual like character that they're playing, where there's like a large group of people or these characters going around, they're all tiny and they're just doing their marching, walking around, but you as like the VR player have to like figure out who that person is before they go around, and they like there's like these little beacons where the person on the computer goes around and tries to like deactivate all the beacons in order to win. So the VR player is trying to look around and see who that characters out of the whole group, and it's quite fun. It's kind of confusing to just describe, but yeah, it's really good fun. But it's only like 2 people, but it's cool that a lot more games like that are coming out and becoming popular because it's actually quite fun.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job of trying to mix the environments. Like I said, only one person can be in the headset. So he's like, hey, come over, let's play VR together. I've had people come over to my house to play VR. They bring their headset and we play in the same room, which is a different experience. It is fun to do. But I'm like, we could also do this at your house. You know, you just log on, I log on at my house, and we talk like we're in the same room. It works.
I mean, and there's also those like party games that are technically single player, but they're just entertaining to watch. Obviously, I'm thinking about like Rickley's Plank Experience, which is very much fun to watch people play for the first time, especially if they've never played VR before.
Oh, he's
I don't know why the Rec Room does that. It takes a very long time for people to load out and disappear from the actual game.
There we go.
Oh, he joined. Welcome.
Hey, welcome back.
Run on back. Yep, glad to be back. That's the whole TP thing we were talking about. Battery died.
Oh.
So I could literally hear everything you were saying, but for some reason it wouldn't let me load back in. I had to close the game and come back.
Okay.
Oh. My family
How did they
drops out
point?
then. Yeah.
You push your Y button or your B button.
That definitely wasn't it.
Next.
Oh, and we just lost another one.
We're losing.
Well, welcome to small town internet right here.
There it goes. It's peaking, and she's gone.
Do I have to sit in the red chair now?
Of course.
Okay.
Well,
Very rude.
we'll just quickly end this so that no one else crashes. All right, so that's going to be it for episode 4 of the Ruth's Dog Eats Ding Boy's Cat's Dinner show. Thank you so much, Kirito and StufMuff, for joining this podcast. It's very interesting to talk about just, I don't know, VR and stuff. It's always nice. It's always nice whenever you can like talk about like tech stuff and nerdy stuff. Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.
Peace. Bye.